today. Time to talk housewives. Woo! Okay, I'm sorry I'm running a little late. I was literally inundated with people trying to explain to me what's going on with this Ronald Richards situation. Uh, if you listen to Ronald Richards, he said that he is stepping away from the case. If you listen to Edelson, he's been fired. I've had an array of messages from people who want me to get their side of the story out. It's crazy. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Lisa Rinna's mother having a stroke and apparently transitioning. And then we're going to talk about another person lost their life as a result from the Travis Scott case. So, whoo, it's a lot, people. It's a lot. Let me go ahead, play my intro, allow more people into the room, and then we'll get right into it. Hi guys, how are you? Hi Perry.
What's up?
I know this has been a hell of a day.
Yeah,
Can you guys hear me? Is my mic too loud? Because I had my
I can hear you fine. I
You're fine.
can.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get into this Ronald Richards things right away. I don't know what to make of it. Um, I like Ronald Richards. He's been on my channel so many times I lost count.
hmm
Uh, but yesterday we start getting an array of calls from the hotline with people wanting to tell us to tell their story. So it started out where a lot of people were upset because they were going to California was going to raise their annual fees to look into shady accounts, basically, because
hmm
of this Tom Girardi lawsuit.
Right.
And they were upset. So they were trying to tell me, Sharrell, uh, as a result of the Girardi case, it's unfair what's happening to us, things like that. So I wanted to get, so they wanted me to tell that story. Then I got another slew of uh, article from Law 360 in which they were saying that uh, they Ronald Richards is being accused of teaming up with Erika Girardi. Okay, now let me go over this. He was hired to find any hidden assets for Erika, so he was working on the behalf. He was working to go after Erika in so many words, right?
Right. The
And
fake.
so that's his whole, remember that's his job, is to find Erica's hidden assets. And then also he wasn't going to get paid up front. He got paid at the back end, depending on what they found and whatnot. Okay, so that's how he was supposed to get paid. Now this is going to blow your mind, people, and I hope I'm right. I'm reading this correctly. Okay, so I told you that the California bar is considering increasing annual license fees because of they want to randomly audit accounts such as the Tom Girardi accounts, which they have accounts that have suspicious activity. Okay, now Erika Girardi is under a bankruptcy. Remember that. Okay, now I'm just going to read the way this was explained to me, which means that, well, everyone knows what bankruptcy means. Okay. Ronald Richards is being accused, okay, of wanting to lift the bankruptcy stay, which means that all the creditors get to go after Erika. She will get inundated. More people could ask her for more money. Does that sound right, Perry? If I say it like that?
Right.
Tom Girardi is being accused of not wanting the bankruptcy stay lifted. He contacted Edelson, and their people, and he wanted to know about, he wanted them to clarify things about the bankruptcy lift. He wanted to know where they were in the case and what they were doing. They were like, why does Ronald Richards wants to know this? You're in charge of finding her assets. This is a weird move. Hold on, let me put this down. Thank you, Bonji. This is a weird move. How was it explained to me? I'll just say it that way. It was a weird move. So he contacted Edison people, and he wasn't supposed to contact them at all. When they finally narrowed him down and asked, why do you want to know these things? He basically says, because she asked him and he wanted to clarify things for her. He does not represent Erika Girardi.
Right.
This is leading people to believe very suspicious activity is going on. And some people even think that he maybe cut a side deal with Erika. Okay. Woo, this is a lot. They're also saying that his questioning them, they felt threatened, and he was also hampering their case. They're saying that Edison discovered a direct link between the embezzlement of Lion Air and EJ Global. So they're saying it makes no sense at all for Ronald Richards to be questioning us about anything that Erika is doing. If it doesn't have to do with finding her assets, why are you asking on her behalf?
Right.
They must have cut a deal. In so many words, okay? Because it gets very technical. And I will leave the Law 360 article link in my description. Okay, now, Ronald is saying that he has stepped away from this, all of this, and he's no longer going to represent Erika. Edelson released a statement that says, no, he did not step away. He was fired. Let me see if I can put his quotes up there. This is complicated. Like, what is going on here, people? Okay. This is the statement that he released. Oh, God. And you guys know I am blind as a bat. Let's try to make it bigger. Can you see it? There we go. Edelson said, so there is no confusion. Pardon me. Ronald Richards was terminated yesterday. I've never seen a situation where a lawyer tries to hide the fact and still pretend he is speaking for his client. Court papers removing him will be filed imminently. The reason this is significant is that he has not been speaking for the trustee since yesterday. No one should take his odd and false comments as coming from the special prosecutor. He is now just an individual speaking for himself. What? Huh? He's saying Edelson saying that they fired him. He's saying that he removed himself. Mm-hmm. There's accusations of him teaming up with Erika in an effort to get more money, and that he didn't want the stay lifted because he will get more money and still be a part of the case if the what do they call it? Bankruptcy stayed. Huh? I'm confused. I like Ronald, but this is confusing. This is right. What we know for a fact. He's no longer a part of the case. This is what we know for a fact. Edelson is accusing him of cutting a side deal with Erika. I don't know what to, What? I don't know what to say. Perry, thoughts?
No, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like, is that my YouTube? Or is your speaker or something? It's like an echo.
You hear echo?
Mm-hmm. You get two YouTube browsers open? You know?
No.
Hey.
I'll turn it down. Is that better?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was saying, to me, I don't know. It sounds like, if I understand it right, it sounds like He could have made a deal with the chick. No, I mean, because
We
Edison
don't
come out and
know
said
for
that
sure, but you're
no, no, no,
saying
no, 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 no,
your
no.
first
I don't
thoughts.
know, and it's hard for me to believe that he would. Let me say
It,
that it's hard for me to believe that a person would do this.
mhm.
I'm just saying I'm not a lawyer. From what I sound like, it sounds like it's something like that. And Edison coming out saying no, he didn't relieve himself. He was fired.
Yeah. Someone says, get Ronald on the show. I think we need to.
Yeah.
I think we need to. All I know is that a group of people contacted me and Perry begging us to cover this and saying you're supposed to be the people's channel and we wanted our story told and this is what's going on and here's this 360 law 360 article and
Right.
Sharrell, please let the people know that Ronald was fired. I don't have anything in writing. All I have is Edelson and a group of people saying no, he didn't quit, he was fired.
Right.
I
We don't know for sure exactly at this point. I mean, just from the stuff that's being published on social media, it comes across that way, but we don't really know. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't.
we don't know if he was fired, but we will
Mhm.
say Jay Edelson is saying he's fired.
Right, right.
And a lot of people are saying that there's an echo. No. Okay. Maybe he means there's echo. Andre, is there echo? I don't know. This is that's what's going on. I don't even know what to say. Is it impossible that he teamed up with Erika? No, nothing's impossible.
Right.
It's a bunch of he said, she said. Yeah, that's going on. Is he no longer associated with the case? That's for sure. Now, whether he stepped away or he was fired, he has nothing to do with it anymore. I always thought Ronald to be a. He's always been nice to me, but I'm not in the case.
Right, right, exactly.
I'm not part of the case. I don't have anything to do with it. Wow. Stunning
That's my thing.
events.
I mean, with Ronald, because from him being on your show, I grew to like him like that
I
and
like
trust
him.
him. So when people start saying this, I'm like, no, that can't be true. That can't be true.
Mhm.
Yeah, in back of your mind, you listening to what they're saying, but you saying no, it can't be true. You know what I'm saying? But
Everyone's asking us to get Ronald on. I will
yeah.
call him immediately and see if he wants to come on, if he still wants to even talk about this stuff since he has nothing to do with it anymore.
Uh-huh.
My stance stays the same.
Yeah.
If Erika had any involvement in this, she needs to be held accountable. But
Yeah.
I guess people are saying, he's getting a lot of clout. I mean, a lot of bad publicity for going on social media. They're saying that he wants to be the attorney for social media, and I don't fault him for that. Matter of fact, I appreciated that because a lot of times lawyers give you a lot of double talk, and we don't know what the hell is going on. And he was
Right.
very open and upfront, and he would come on shows like this and say, this is how I feel. This is what's going on. I appreciate that because a lot of times people might think, oh, I'm too big, or he explained every detail and he would come on the show. And if we asked him questions for an hour, he would answer questions for a complete hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multiple times. So this is crazy. I don't know what to make of it. We got to get him on the show. I'm going to believe Edelson because if RR wasn't fired, best believe Ronald Richards wasn't fired. Best believe his big old thumbs would be firing away on SM that he walked away. I'm not going to say anything. Stop dealing with Ronald. Wow. Get Emily DB on the show, and it's all about money. Now that's another good thing. Maybe we can get both of them on, not at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
Emily's a good friend of mine. Ronald's a friend of mine. Woo. Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
It's crazy. All these accusations getting Reality Diamond says, is that Freddie? Ronald did walk away. he says he's walk away. Jay Edelson saying he's fired. Here, let me throw the link down. I'm just reporting. I have no. I'm just. I'm just reporting what people are saying.
No,
But
I
I
get
was.
you right. I mean, for me, it's a hard pill to swallow for me.
What
But
part?
I would never imagine that he would turn the opposite way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
For me,
I'm
like I
just
said, that
shocked by the whole thing.
I'm not saying everything's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just for me. I don't feel. I mean, it's just like, I need more of the story.
He did not say. He did not say he was fired on A's live. He said he withdrew.
Okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
so
But
that's what I'm saying. He's saying that he withdrew, and
they said
Jay
he's
Edelson
fired.
saying he was fired.
At the end of the day, he's no longer there. Then,
Yeah.
so for me, I look at it like, damn, it's like housewives. Oh, well, I left on my own terms, or they gave you a shitty contract. You know what I'm saying? So it's still the same.
There,
I mean, I don't know.
there's a group of people that are saying very discouraging things about him. Well, they've always said from the beginning he shouldn't be in the media, but I
Right,
appreciated that. When you can pick
right,
up the phone and ask someone a question and they
right,
will respond, I
right,
appreciate that. But to
right,
some people, oh, why are you going to blogs? Why are you? Because he's getting the word out to the people.
right, 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 right,
But then again, why are you asking about the deal between Erika and Edelson?
right,
Because she wanted to know. You're not her client. You're not her attorney. Let's see what
right.
other people are saying. Hi, Diva. Hi,
Hey,
Hello.
Freddie.
what's up, Freddie? Hi.
What do you
How are
guys make
you
of
all?
this mess? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Anybody?
can hear you.
Okay, yeah. What you think of it?
Let's start with Freddie. Since you know Ronald like I know him, we liked him.
You
What do we
know, I
think of
know
this?
Ronald. I actually spoke with him today, and
Okay.
I can confirm that he is very keen to come back on your channel. He's talking with me about coming on my channel as well when I start mine up very soon. And he's got a lot of stuff to share about what's happening. The thing is with Jay Edelson is that he has not given proof that Erika benefited from the Lion Air case. Now, the thing is that the judge agrees with that and is like, I'm not seeing evidence of this. Now, I think Jay Edelson is probably annoyed with Ronald that he's basically saying the same thing as Erika's lawyer, saying there's no evidence that Erika received money from the Lion Air case, as Jay Edelson has not shown any evidence to support this claim. So what Jay Edelson has done, and this is what's caused this whole saga, if you like, is Jay Edelson filed a motion to basically I'm sorry, I've lost my words, to
Take your time.
basically to get the court to reconsider what they're saying, to let the court re-rule the motion, because Jay Edelson is not happy with what the judge ruled.
So yesterday, I sent you a slew of information that these people have sent me. It's about a group of 7 of them that are very upset with Ronald, and they're saying that why is he even asking about Erika's case? What do we say to that?
Because at the end of the day, people say he's the trustee. He was employed by one of the trustees, Alyssa Miller. She's one of the 2 trustees on this case, and his job is to find where the money is. Now that means he's got to be working with all sides of the table, whether that's Jay Edelson, the trustees, Evan Borgs, who's Erika's attorney. He's got to be working with all these people to find out exactly what's happening. He's got to cooperate with them. And if he can effectively cooperate with Erika's lawyers, he is able to get to sort of the bottom of it. Whereas if he's going to sort of go after them and whatever, they might not cooperate.
Why do you think he walked away?
I think he walked away because I think Jay Edelson sort of made a lot of problems for him. It's sort of, maybe he felt that he sort of had his credibility maybe ruined in this case. And the other thing as well is that it's not like Ronald has been paid for this. It is his law firm that has funded all the research and locating everything themselves. And I think any lawyer can say when a firm does that is a big risk to do.
Yeah, it's a big risk. Also, I wanted to make sure I covered all the things that those people were complaining about. They're very upset. Why is Jay Edelson saying he was fired? Is he just trying to be difficult?
I think maybe, but at the end of the day, we haven't seen a ruling to confirm that is the case. So, I mean, you can't say he's been fired unless we see, actual evidence of that.
Mm-hmm.
Diva, what are your thoughts? Because this is crazy.
It's crazy. Well, of course, we always appreciate when someone comes and speaks up and tells us the side of it. But I think ethical thing is, if you're investigating something, trying to find out some information, I don't think you should be, talking to several people and saying all of these things. And I think that's where some people have a problem with it. So yes, it's always good for us, because, I enjoyed hearing it and hearing his side, and we got more information because of him speaking and, coming out and telling the people. But when you think about the other side of it, if we're trusting you to go find this information, we don't need you to be trying to find the information and then going to talk to 1,000 people at the same time. So I think it kind of leans on that thing, like a little conflict of interest, do your job and kind of shut your mouth type of thing.
What about this, Diva? I found Ronald Richards to be a new type of attorney that uses social media. You got to get involved.
You got to get involved, but I don't know, it's like a privacy thing almost to me. Yes, you got to use social media to your advantage, and but I think it's like this thin line, right? And being overexposed and maybe just, talking too much. And I think that may be where some people are having a lot of problems with it. And now this play of words, I walked away or got fired. I mean, I don't know, what made you all of a sudden, you've been doing this with no money up front all of this time. What made you at this point, kind of walk away? So I'm glad he's open to coming to speak, because, I would love to hear his side. I watched before when he came on and was telling us all the other information. So I would love to hear his side. Why all of a sudden now you decided to walk away?
Right.
Let me read this super chat really quick. Cooperation with the opposing party is a quick and dirty, easy shot to take at a lawyer. Ooh, it often gets said in anger or frustration. Ooh. Wow.
Thank you, Stephanie, for saying that my analysis was good, because Stephanie's a lawyer. So that's very kind of her to say.
It has to deal with the lion air victims that Edelson, represents. Freddie, what do you think about being a lawyer, a top attorney? He's a top attorney these days, and social media. Do you think he should be on Twitter, going to blogs? What do you think about that?
Yes, I think so. As at the end of the day, with this Erika stuff, with a bunch of other things that he talks, as he doesn't just talk about Erika on Twitter, we get a really good idea of what these people are up to. I mean, we wouldn't know about, for example, Sharrell and Perry, your best friend PK's, his exact debts and things like that either. So, yeah, I think it's good, because there are a lot of people that pretend that they're innocent and that they're great people or they're really rich, when actually they are immoral liars. Some of these people.
What would he get if he did team up with Erika? That's a conflict of interest, isn't it?
That would, yes. I mean, listen, I really don't believe he's teamed up with Erika. That really wouldn't benefit him, because at the end of the day, if you look on his Twitter, you know, he stands by the fact that that he's been pursuing the money to try and find where it is. You know, it's not like he's saying, you know, Erika's great or she's innocent.
Yeah,
He's
never.
All Ronald has said that is the same thing, which is the same sort of where Erika's lawyer is coming from, is that there's no evidence that Erika received Lion Air money that was meant to be for the victims. That's the only thing. It's not, you know, it's not like Ronald's flipped and is trying to be on Erika's side. He's not representing her at all. He's still going up pursuing her for money.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what other people have to say. Let's take Lola. Let's take Miriam. Luxon, can you show me your face really quick? Or I can't bring you up. Okay. Let's start with hi Miriam. How are you? It's complicated, isn't it?
First of all, can I say something about PK?
Oh,
yeah.
He's watching. Hi, PK. Oh, God.
What do you have to say about
this
this
page
whole...
from Erika's book? They are deflecting. Instead of trying to recuperate all the stolen items, he's going after people who are calling them out. Like that video was pure comedy. I'm still laughing.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but back to Ronald Richards. I think if he is in cahoots with Erika, they might have struck a deal that he will get his commission from her, because he got a lot of backlash when people started talking about his commission, that he's going to take 30 to 40% of the money that the victims will be awarded. And then some people started saying, no, he's working for free. Oh, then why should he work for free? Well, if he is pretending to be talking on behalf of the victims and making justice, then yeah, why not work for free? You're getting publicity. People on YouTube like me, I would never have heard of him. Yeah. I know who he is. Yeah. So, you know, it was a way of like, and if I'm wrong, who do I call? Ronald Richards. So it's all like, it's very shady. And I noticed for a while, he changed his tune about Erika. He wasn't as combative or talking about her. Mm-hmm. It was obvious, and she's not going after him like she was in the beginning. So it could be likely that they have an agreement right now.
What did you think,
allegedly?
Lola?
I feel as if something shady happened in the background. I mean, the case is pretty far. They're pretty far into the process, right? So for me, for a lawyer to be like kind of eliminated this late in the game is kind of suspect. Usually this kind of happens.
What will Ronald Richards get out of teaming up with Erika?
Money.
Yeah, it has to be monetary gain. It has to be, because I can't think of another reason. Doesn't make sense. Or unless here's the other thing too. Tom worked in a law firm. Tom knew a lot of people. She knew lawyers that knew Tom that worked with him. Maybe she found out something dirty on him.
Yes, or he found where.
She's well connected. She knows a lot of lawyers, right? Everyone has a past. Maybe she found out something about him and she's threatened to let it out. It's a possibility.
Or he knows where the money is abroad.
Okay, you guys
now
stop.
Where the money is.
You know what, though? Erika is very convincing, right?
That she can't find out something dirty on him. You think that's really out of the realm? With all the lawyers she knows, all the connections that Tom had, you don't think she could find out something dirty on someone if she wanted to?
Let's not forget this, okay? Ronald Richards, as a pristine attorney with a stellar record for decades.
So did
Okay.
Tom.
Like
Tom had a good reputation for
Sounds
decades
familiar.
too.
You guys.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay.
By the way, Erika checked my story today. I tagged her.
Uh-huh.
I think someone like posted something about yeah, right, Erika, you're broke, talking about how much she makes. Then I commented like the only thing broke in her is her character, and she checked my story.
Oh my gosh.
Miriam, how many Fs do you think she gave?
Well, I was gonna say, if she messages me or she sends her son after me, I was gonna say, see you next Tuesday.
Well, it might be snowing where he is, so he might not be able to get to you.
Asking men to go in her
It will be snowing here in the Northeast.
This whole thing is absolutely crazy because we have to give it to Ronald, this part. We wouldn't know as much as we know if he didn't keep us updated on Twitter, Instagram, coming on blogs. And I would tell you, Freddie would tell you this too. Every time we asked, he came.
That's why it's so hard for me to believe.
I'm sorry, Perry.
Oh yeah, no, so that's why it's so hard for me to believe.
Yeah.
That he would turncoat. Yeah. But like I said, people throw out facades all the time. I think it's important to talk to him.
Yeah.
It is. And I appreciate him talking, but on the flip side, I'm like, and here's the thing with Erika, she's very convincing. Look how she got the whole cast on her side.
Okay.
So
she knows about them.
Dummies. No one believes Erika.
I mean, she didn't walk in with her boots on, did she?
You never know how charming maybe she could have been with him and said.
Yeah. Oh no, she knows their skeletons. Didn't you catch in the reunion how she kind of threatened Dorit? She said, "Oh, no one is talking about the lawsuits against you, Dorit." And then Dorit shut up when she said that.
Uh-huh.
She knows their skeleton. This is what it is. They're scared of her. She's gangster.
I don't think Ronald. Let me ask you, Freddie, what would this mean now for the case? Do they have to get another person, another attorney?
Well, at the end of the day, yes, they probably will be getting someone else to be looking in for the sort of the money and things like that. I suspect that will probably be announced soon in court filings, saying which law firm, which lawyer that they employed to be doing that. Yes.
Freddie, I have a question. Do you know if they were happy with him?
Well, yeah. I mean, he located quite a lot of the money. I mean, he was doing a good job. He was asking the right questions. So yeah, I believe so.
So who dismissed him? The clients?
No one. We don't look. There's no evidence to suggest that he has been dismissed, apart from what Jay Edelson has said. That's the thing.
So basically, you're saying it's the opposing side that's saying he's fired. Well, they have their own
side, but the opposing side is annoyed with him, with Ronald, for saying that that the fee sharing agreement between Girardi Keese and Edelson was illegal, and the judge said it also was. And the other thing is that Ronald Richards basically said, no, you're not a priority to be paying money to for your personal fees, Edelson. So, I think there's probably a bit of anger there from Edelson as well. But, time will tell, and we'll have to wait and see what the case
Are you
really
saying, Freddie, is that the opposing side got upset and it would be in their best interest if they made Ronald look bad or frustrated him enough to quit? That would be
I think it's possible that at the end of the day that the priority here is these victims, and the aim is to be locating all of this money to pay everyone. And I think Ronald is someone that does have integrity, and he does believe that is the priority. So he doesn't want Edelson or people trying to tarnish his reputation or cause additional problems when that's not the priority here.
Sharrell, have you tried to interview any of the victims? Just out of Just curious.
Yes.
Okay.
What's up, y'all?
I just
Hey,
can't say.
what's up? What's
Yeah.
up?
Let me
You
read
can't
this really
say
quick,
much.
Trav. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Ronald Richards is the people's attorney. I have seen him in action. He fights hard for the underdog. I would never say he turned. What's that
At
word?
all.
I don't know.
He didn't turn. Okay, we'll put it that way.
Right.
Trav, what do you make of
I
this
don't know. I'm
mess?
giving him the side eye. I don't know.
He talks too
Yeah,
much.
see,
I
for
wouldn't want
me, I
him to
mean,
talk that much if he was
me
my
personally,
lawyer.
I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I can see Edison, if he was to leave for any other reason, to throw blame like he was fired or whatever, to discredit
Yeah.
the other side.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I can see. Okay.
Trav, what is your opinion in this? This is crazy.
Okay, I'm not gonna be long, but I just feel like, you know what, Erika, Tom, PK, and Dorit, feed them all to the lions. Feed them all to the wolves and the bears. Oh my! I don't give a fuck about none of them. They all
I know that's
liars.
right.
They all liars. They ain't nothing. I think they drink box wine, and it ain't nothing wrong with that. But act like you drink box wine and
Not
sugar
the box
water.
wine,
I've drinking
Trav.
sugar water before. Come
Oh,
on, you
when
know.
which type of glass? Because Dorit is very specific about the glass.
In what type of
Gucci
glass?
glasses, Miriam.
In what type of glass? Baby, the same cup I'm drinking out right now, a Stanley Soda cup. Ain't no glass with this. Ain't no glass, ain't no class. Not at all. Not at all.
I agree with you. This is overwhelming and above most of our heads. It's getting really what's the word I'm looking for, Freddie? They're getting
Entangled.
Yes.
I know, like they're
Yeah.
going at it. They're going at it. I'll put it that way. And so it's over the common person's head. But all I know is that I like new attorneys that know how to use social media, and I don't count that against him. And people are counting that against him. That's the new way. That's the new era. You should be able to get on there, tweet your thoughts out, give us an update on what's going on, answer the people's questions. If you don't do that's old school. If you don't know how to do that, that's what I think. I could be wrong.
Most people, I
And
think,
like
that
you
don't
said,
like
Diva,
it
some
like
people
that.
get offended by that and like, why is he all over the place? That's the modern era attorney.
Right. And I think most
That's what
people
I
that
think.
say that is just mad because it's only one person speaking, not their guy. You know what I'm saying? Like their attorney who don't use social media, and they don't want this guy to get the advantage by opening it up, spreading it across the world.
You want to
That's
stay
what I
on,
think.
Trav, as I bring up another person?
Huh?
Trav, did you want to
Well,
stay
you
on?
know what? I'm gonna just say with Perry, with what you saying that they spread. I think Erika spread it wide and opened it low. So I don't
Oh
know.
wow.
No, Trev. I ain't talking about her coming in. No, Trev. I'm not
my
talking
God,
about her
Trev.
walking in. I'm not
my
talking about her
God.
walking in an apartment or house and dimming the lights with those boots on. I'm not talking about that kind of spreading.
Hey now.
Oh, okay.
Oh God. Listen, I
Well,
love
you
that
know,
Ronald
that's what I
talks on
think.
social media. That I love. But what I give him a side eye is I need to know how much is the percentage that he's gonna charge the victims.
Well, then that way you should be on. I need more info. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Mel.
I
How are
really
you?
want to
Hey,
know.
everybody.
Hey
Hey, what's up?
man.
What's up?
Hi.
What's
Make
up?
this make
I
sense.
really want to know how the victims gonna get their money.
Yeah. You
Because
know,
it seems like they laugh about it. They laugh at somebody's pain and misery.
Right.
for me, I don't know much about the law, but I'm hoping that Mr. Ronald Richards get another high-profile case because he is hysterical. He is such a character, I would tell you. And I used to didn't think that these characters existed other than David E. Kelly's show, like on Practice or Boston Legal or something. But he really out there doing stunts and shows. So,
Right.
Well, are you saying that in a good way or a bad way? What do
That's
you
a
mean?
good way.
I'm saying I'm entertained by Mr. Ronald Richards. I'm very entertained by him. I think that
Right.
he's, I don't see many lawyers on social media doing what he do. I
But
think
Mel, would you like your lawyer to act the way he does? If you were in a serious case, would you want your lawyer to conduct himself that way?
if he won the cases, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But you ain't winning right now. You still battling.
But at the end of
No,
the day,
it
law
depends. It all
documents are like
depends. Some of
these
them
are
win.
public
Some of them
anyway.
win through social media.
If he wins, whatever it takes to win, I'm for it. He's hysterical. He's an entertaining character. I never seen anything like him. I only saw like it on TV shows. So,
And let's not forget, they asked him to help, didn't they, Freddie? It wasn't the other way around. He was just covering a case, giving his opinion as a professional attorney.
Yeah, exactly.
They came to him and said, "Will you help us find the hidden money?" So I don't know. Let me take on another call.
Can I just clarify, because I'm reading in the comments, people
I'm gonna go ahead and
Nice seeing you. Take care.
I just want to say this: give them victims their money. They got kids that go to school that need to damn eat lunch and have recess and stuff. Pay them their damn money and start acting crazy. They ain't
exactly.
Tom and Erika ain't no damn victims. All them ugly ass video shoots and stuff, that money they make, them music videos didn't make no damn money. Stop. And then she got a neck like Giselle.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
So,
Trav, you are too much. Thank you so much for calling in.
Later,
all
Trav.
right, love y'all. I'm about to-
Love you.
Bye.
Poor Giselle, she got dragged into this. Poor Giselle.
Craig, what do you make of this mess?
First off, I want to say hi, everybody. Thank you for allowing
Hey, what's
me to
up?
be here. I watch you guys every night, and I'm so honored to be here. But I'm also an avid watcher of Emily D. Baker, and I have followed the Girardi case really close. And one thing that I have noticed, like discrepancies in this case, is that not really within the last month, but even Emily D. Baker has mentioned, like, Ronald Richards he's been very honest. He's brought a lot of information to the public. But the thing is that he's put out so much information that could be biased to a pre-trial. And Erika is entitled.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that, and this is Emily D. Baker's words, but Erika, by way of this case, she has not been criminally charged. So she has the right to go to a trial and defend herself. Now, granted, Ronald Richards has he's put out a lot of factual information. He's brought a lot to the light. Some of the things he says, like even if it is fraud, fraudy, and stuff like that, you know what I mean? We all feel that way, but like Diva was saying, like there's a very thin line. And I know that Erika has filed 2 motions, you know what I mean, in the midst of him trying to discover this money. It's been reported and that she has filed 2 motions to have him dismissed because of his pre-prejudice statements before trial. And both of them have been dismissed, but it looks like maybe what I see is happening. I know everybody says something different, but what it seems like is happening is that perhaps maybe she filed another motion and the judge might have granted it because of his biased statements. Now, personally, I feel like he's been quiet for like the past 2 months or so. But the judge, it was reported that the judge did ask him to calm down, and he did continue to do, even after the first motion was filed, he still did your show, you know, and he's only speaking facts. I don't think that he's rude or nasty or so much disrespectful. I think that it's just like, and we do need more courageous lawyers, but I think it's more so of this is still a chess field, you know what I mean? Even Tom Girardi had to play his hand a certain way. So where Ronald Richards is concerned, I think that he has said so many things that could be taken as prejudice. And if she goes
like what, Craig?
I'm so sorry. I can't think of everything, but because you said a lot.
I can think of something.
Okay, what, Miriam?
I can think that Erika can claim that she will never get a fair trial because he had tarnished her reputation across the board, across the nation.
No, she did that.
They think that Ronald Richards tarnished Erika's reputation.
Yes. Well, no,
I'm saying
she can say that. I don't agree with her. I don't.
I was gonna say,
but she can come up with this defense.
Innocent.
He got just because the glove didn't fit, he got absolved from.
And the thing is, I think the discrepancy with Richards and Edelson PC, the Lion Air, he was on the Lion Air case. He's the one. This was like the tip that kind of like made all of this come to the light. And Edelson PC, out of Chicago, if I'm correct, he's the lawyer that claimed that he saw tax returns going to EJ Global amounting in $25 million.
Right.
So Ronald Richards, that's where that number came from, Edelson PC. So he's been thinking 40% of 25 million He has Edelson PC, who's pulled up tax records, and then we're going into tax evasion and tax fraud. He certainly, you know, he had the formula to win. But two, I hate to say this, and I don't know if I should, but I imagine that so many people are mad at Tom Girardi, but is it too much for us to think that there's not a judge somewhere that he's still linked in? I mean, he's
Freddie,
Tom
let me
Girardi.
ask Freddie. Freddie has been working closely with Ronald Richards since the beginning, before he even got appointed on this case, right, Freddie?
Yeah, I mean, we've known Ronald. We've all known. I mean, me, you, Perry. We've known Ronald for quite a while now.
And he said in the beginning the purpose of doing this, and he's also, guys, is so much with these modern day attorneys using. He's not the only attorney to use social media like this. I know a lot of them. The new ones, the ones that are worth their money, are using social media.
I don't think the issue is social media. I think it's what he's saying on social media. Like, you can use social media. It's just what I get what Craig was trying to say earlier. Sorry, one second. What Erika's defense was going to try to play is that he's already criminalizing her without her receiving criminal charges. You can't do that. You can't, as a lawyer, you can't.
As a lawyer, you can't.
I know.
How is Ronald Richards villainizing Erika?
No, but that is
No,
real.
Erika's a villain.
How
I
many
called her out
times
on it, and
they had to
she
move
didn't
trials
like
from
it.
cities to cities,
Right, 'cause of the
claiming
jury.
that they can't have a fair trial here because
Exactly.
the case was too much publicized. So
Right.
that tarnishes any
Right.
jury. She
To
might
lean
say
towards-
that.
Right. To lean towards Lola and Craig, like if we were the ones saying these things about Erika, that's one thing. But he's a lawyer. He's a professional.
Right.
What about
is
this?
held
What
up
about
to
this,
a
Diva?
certain
Erika
standard.
is on a national platform. She's in front of millions of
But not
people.
That's
everyone
absolutely
watches the
true.
show.
And I
Not
don't think
everyone
that she,
watches
I'm
the
sorry
show
to cut you
either.
off. I don't think that she's helping herself, but at the same
Right.
time, he is the bankruptcy trustee on $101 million bankruptcy. Shut your mouth.
No, Craig,
Right.
listen.
No. What he
If
is.
Ronald Richards was not on this case, Erika could go on TV and flip that narrative.
She could,
And
but
actually, at the end-
she maybe could fool the masses, and that's why we're grateful for him. But at the same time, she can't, regardless of if she puts that out, Erika Girardi from the court has not been charged criminally. And in so many ways, he's kind of alleged, or a lot of us believe that she was involved based off the information that he brought forward, which is true.
Right.
It's just like, if it's
Which is
$101
public
million,
court records. It's public court records.
That's what I was
There's
trying
just
to
a
say.
fine line. It's like you're dealing with the
It is public court record, but she hasn't been charged,
on a-
which means there's not enough evidence yet. She's
Yeah,
still
but
not
that's
even
a
being
huge
charged.
thing. That's
But
a
there
huge
is
thing.
plenty of evidence that suggests that
Then why
Erika
hasn't
is
she been
completely
charged?
in the
Then
wrong
charge
here.
her.
And Freddie, I agree with you. I'm taking this Sharrell from the angle of just his profession, not the information. The information is the information, and we could get it, and she's giving damaging information on herself. But you know, when I graduated from nursing school, we had to take this oath, right? So I'm careful as to what I say about certain things when it comes to medical, because when you hear that it's coming from a nurse, if I were to say something negative about the vaccine or whatever the case may be, it'd be one thing if I just a lay person. It's another thing if I'm the nurse saying it, because then people are gonna be like, well, dag, a nurse doesn't even want to get it or something like that.
Right.
So
had
I'm
a lot of
thinking
those.
that he's a lawyer.
Before Ronald came onto this case,
Uh-huh.
Tom Girardi had been sued before, and she told everyone that the cases were dismissed and everything was fine, and all these people were liars. He held her accountable.
Let's be honest.
No.
I
I
don't want to. Sorry, I'm sorry. I keep cutting.
Oh, no, I'm
off
sorry.
the panel.
I'm thinking we all agree with that. But I think what the panel was saying, though, as far as like jurisdiction, when people try to change it and all that, as far as public perception and stuff like that, I think they're saying it's a good thing what he did because we would never know this stuff.
Yeah.
But at a certain time, if that person is not on trial at that point, they would go and try to use that as their own defense by saying he smeared the
He made
public
me out to be a
with all this
criminal
knowledge.
before I got my
You know what I'm
chance in
saying?
court.
Is that right?
Craig, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, I was just going to say, and two, that's where the whole discrepancy is. I mean, I mean, I know Emily D. Baker, she did like a show where she went down every expense that was spent, out of that $25 million. So we know that it's a fact that money was sent there. I just think that, and even before Ronald got on this case, he talked a lot about it. So I remember he was talking about it before he was even assigned to it. I was shocked that they still assigned him to it. So I just think it's just a matter of, he can become, as great as he is, he can become a liability. It's Ronald Richards or $100 million. You know what I mean?
I had one question. I was listening. I had one question. Was Ronald Richards tweeting about this case while they were filming this season of Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
So
he's watching.
Okay,
and
so
he
I
was
have
correcting those lies that she was telling.
Okay, so
he was telling so many lies it wasn't even funny.
So
Let me bring some new people into this. They've been waiting a while. Hi, Sharrell.
Hey, Sharrell. Hey, Terry.
Hi.
Hey, gray-haired
What do you have
diva.
to say about this?
Freddie,
This is
Miriam, Craig. I'd like to speak on the fact that I don't trust Ronald Richards from here to the hole in the ground. Let's speak on the fact that he represented Russell Armstrong. Freddie, do you remember that?
Yeah, Taylor Armstrong's ex-husband who committed suicide. Yeah.
Yeah, and he blamed her for all that stuff. So
Russell,
I have a hard time dealing with him and his truth. And he was actually up and at him today, and he brought up that something about the wedding rings and stuff, and he acted like he didn't even know that.
That he didn't know about Russell?
Yeah, he didn't know about Russell.
I don't think he didn't act like he knew about it. He doesn't like to talk about it because it was such a
sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of a bit wrong to talk about ill of the dead, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was wrong to talk about it. He was talking about money and whatever, and something that had to give something back, or how much should you give back. Me, my personal feeling, I would never want Ronald Richards to be my attorney. I would never want him to be, especially if something bad had happened. Being on Twitter, I get about transparency, but I just don't trust him. I think he's a blowhard. That's just how I feel.
I'm very entertained by
I feel
him.
like he can tone it down a little bit.
Right, on social media. Yeah.
He's doing too much on social media.
Yeah.
Don't do that much so that we feel like you're really working on the case. At this point, it feels like it's just the propaganda. He's really like, I'm grateful that he's checking her out. Listen, I was hate watching Beverly Hills. I don't like her at all. I extremely dislike her, actually.
I do too.
But I feel like he's a liability. Like, there is always someone needs to know when it's too much. And being a lawyer, I'm sure he should know better. And when he was doing the Armstrong case, he was not on the popular side. Maybe this is why today he didn't want to talk on it. But on Erika's case, he is on the popular side. Because everybody wants to see Erika
to
pay
be
something.
clear, Miriam, wasn't it? Because I was just watching.
But he acted stupid about it, like he didn't even realize,
I was just watching these old Beverly Hills clips, and didn't Russell defraud people out of money for over 20 years? Remember, Taylor had to sell her rings, her Birkins, and all of that. Found out some of that
Craig.
was fake. It's like,
but they burnt through all their money
Girardi
before
did.
she even got on the show, and a lot of that was also down to her lavish spending, like Erika.
He still defrauded people out of stuff for over 20 years.
Yes.
Fraud is fraud.
Yeah, I feel bad saying that because he's not with us.
It's
I
like
don't mean
they're
it that
the
way.
crooks of Beverly Hills. It's not the housewives of Beverly Hills. They need to change that name.
Let's see. Peace. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You look so pretty.
Me?
Yes, you.
Yes.
All of the women.
I love you.
I looked around. I said, who said that?
No, I said it. I said it. I
we
love
are
her.
very opinionated on this panel. What's your opinion?
I don't. Yeah, I've been watching you, and I know when you get frustrated, it makes me frustrated too. I don't like when anybody messes with you. I've been watching you for years, and this is my first time ever calling in.
Oh wow!
I thought it was very interesting that Mrs. Diva said as a nurse, she takes an oath. So think about as a doctor. First of all, I'd like to ask, what kind of oath or what is she trying to say when she says that? Because there is some kind of thing that you have to not be as outspoken as you'd like to be when you're a certain professional. You have a lot of things that you witness, a lot of fraud, a lot of just a lot of things that you have to kind of hold in. You can't be outspoken about, and if you speak out about it, everyone turns against you. So I wanted to know what she meant by the oath, because I am in the medical profession as well. So I was curious to see what she had to say about that.
Go ahead, Diva.
Well, when you graduate, I can't remember all the words we had to say, but we said all these words pretty much that we're gonna kind of do right by our patients and all of that stuff. Yeah, I could look it up, but I can't remember when we
It's the
graduated.
hypocritical oath.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. It's not any kind of.
I'm no
It's not any
medical
kind of test,
professional.
but
Only on
no,
YouTube.
it's not even that. It's not doing right by your patients. Actually lying to the patients. It's actually a lot of times billing things like with, I don't want to say the word, but billing for things that are not actually what the sickness is to get more profit. There's a lot of corruption, not just with government, but also in the medical field. So when she said that oath thing, that made me really perk my ears up, because it takes a certain amount and a certain amount of dignity that you let go of, and outspokenness that you let go of to reach a higher level. And so it's really sad. But just when she said that, it spoke out to me. But you look beautiful, girl, and don't let these people get to you.
Oh,
You're so
no.
positive. I'm just not
a spirited conversation.
Okay.
And it's not easy when we let people come on and give their opinions, but that's what this channel is about. Everybody gets to talk. And I'm trying to ask you specifically, Peace, is there is a new type of power attorney that uses social media to their advantage, and it really helps. I've seen it. Do you not feel comfortable with your attorney using social media at all?
Not at all. And
but everyone uses it.
There is, I won't even say the attorney's name. When you see someone going from having a private practice to all of a sudden YouTube is their main income, they're telling other, especially Black individuals, don't go into law, make a YouTube platform. I'm not going to say the name of the attorney, but he's making his profit off of this. This is not a lawyer I would want to represent me. No. People are getting so lost.
Social media reaches the masses.
It doesn't matter. People are getting so lost in social media and thinking that they're so famous and all this power, when no, you have to walk around your community and be able to hold your head up high. And the stuff that I'm seeing from these legal professionals who are leaving their practices to make these channels is really disgusting and despicable, and it's a disgrace.
Wow. You don't appreciate that at all?
Not at all.
I disagree. I mean, he's not, all the documents he's sharing, they are legal documents that the judge says he is allowed to share. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with what he's doing. He is enlightening us about very important stuff that we as the public are allowed to know.
I don't think the issue.
Well, I'm not speaking on
anyway, even if it didn't exist.
She didn't ask me, Miss Sharrell didn't ask me about, or Sharrell, she didn't ask me about this person specifically. So I'm just speaking about when you see legal professionals make YouTube platforms and all of a sudden they just are into this YouTube fame and the numbers, and that is a red flag for me. I would not want them to represent me. But also there's a way to represent the truth and have some class. So I just, there's just a way to go about everything. And I feel like we're losing a lot of dignity. And then a lot of times I'll just say, I'm a Black woman born and raised here, and my family's born and raised here, and I'm American, and my family built this country. And it's so disrespectful and rude when people tell me, I just hear a lot of, I won't even get into it, but.
Craig, do you agree with Peace?
Not necessarily. I understand what she means, just from the standpoint of when you hire an attorney, especially on something like this, you want someone who's like a class act. But I don't think that it's bad for attorneys to be on YouTube, because one thing that I don't want to go too far off the ledge, but we all probably imagined that things would be a certain way, but it's 2021. Things are completely different. You know, instead of them getting a billboard or ad in the newspaper, they can literally come live, show their expertise. We can see how they deliver their words. I think it's genius, and it's nice that it's legal for them to do it. But to your point, it should be done tasteful so that it doesn't, you know. But then again, how can everything's not going to be tasteful for everybody?
I was going to say, I was going to make one point too. If we can show surgery on different platforms, on YouTube and also on TV, that's one of the most personal thing a person can do. I think that a lawyer having commentary, if it's legal, I don't see it as crazy. And I also want to make one point here too, because I'm not sure the timeline. I wanted, for me, if I'm thinking correctly, if Ronald Richards was doing what he was doing on Twitter, and it influenced some way the season of Beverly Hills Housewives, what actually would be more curious, I'm for that, because the girls in the cast were protecting her. So we didn't have somebody outside exposing. We wouldn't even had as much as we had with Erika this year on the reunion or on the season, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And now for me personally, if it's serious or it's my family, whatever, it's like a case-to-case basis. Either you want somebody who's flashy and very dramatic in a character. As a viewer, I'm living for it. I like all the stunts and shows he does on Twitter. It is not my case, not my life. But if it's something very seriously, maybe I might make a different decision. But we see so many different things on television and YouTube. People having surgery, people popping pimples. People do everything in front of camera. So this man
you see people being killed on.
Well, I listen. I'm not going.
I'm just saying. I mean,
that's a
you
rabbit
can see
hole.
everything on YouTube. And
we talk about entertainment and what people do. And so, is this lawyer talking about some legal whatever, scuttlebutt, whatever? You know, it is what it is. I don't care.
I just have one thing here that that has been affecting the case, and not in a positive way.
Okay.
I watched an interview with one of the moms that first triggered all this thing against Tom Girardi, and she said that he is dumping public information. She didn't say that he is saying something wrong or lying. She didn't say that. But when he puts his stuff on the internet, then they have to dig. It stalls the case. So many times they had to, instead of like just keeping laser focus on one thing, because he talks about A, B, C, D, and E. So there's a lot of investigations going concurrent, parallel to each other, which makes it more time consuming.
And a mistrial is possible. Sorry to interrupt you, but all of this being online it can cause so many mistrials.
Yeah.
And as far as him being terminated and stuff, I mean, I know a lot of times, like if papers were filed, and he might not have been, I'm not saying he was, but if papers were filed Wednesday afternoon, I mean, there is a possibility it might not show up in the docket until Friday morning or maybe even Monday morning, you know, so when we won't really know until like we see the papers of.
Yeah. That's what Freddie said.
Sharrell, I'm gonna go. So
okay,
I just wanted to add one last point. I just think there needs to be a balance. If papers are allowed to the public, that's fine, but a lawyer needs to know the fine line between revealing too much. Like P said, it could cause a mistrial. Like her defense could use, if he overtalks and makes it paints in a certain way, they could possibly use that against him. Yeah. So I think there needs to be a fair line.
I agree with that, Lola.
And that's up to the ethics board. The ethics board needs to revise their rules now that social media is so big.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Thank you guys for calling in. I'm going to bring in a new.
I'm sorry. I just want to say one more here.
Can I just say that actually Ronald Richards was not responsible for stalling the cases. You know, the reason why that we saw delays and things being pushed back was because it was people like Erika needing to change her attorney, which she fell out with, or they couldn't provide certain information that was needed. It wasn't because Ronald Richards was on Twitter sharing public documents.
Right. That's true. I want to take a couple more calls because a lot of people are trying to get in.
You know, at the end of the day, this is it's a civil case, and he's not doing anything wrong.
Hi, Deb.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Sound off. What did you want to say really quickly?
Oh, dear. I think if you're waiting for me to speak, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was just going to say, I don't think anyone knows if Ronald was terminated or not, except for Ronald and the trustee. And it's really no one else's business why he decided to leave. But he very well could have left because it's been a year. He hasn't received any money for the work and the time that he's put in.
Right.
He might have gone into this thinking in a year's time, perhaps it'll settle.
Yeah.
And, then I'll get some money and I'll be done with this. Because Ron is not a contingency fee attorney. He charges hourly fees for his time. He has a law firm. He has bills to pay. He has salaries to pay. He
That's
can
true.
probably only do this for so long
Yeah.
and not get any money out of it.
Yeah.
Now, if the stay is lifted on the bankruptcy for Edelson, and I don't know, I don't think the judge has ruled on that yet.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
No, he has not. Yeah.
And so if he does, though, and Edelson is allowed to pursue Erika in Chicago, she's going to spend a lot of more money on attorney fees fighting that case in Chicago. And Ron's already said she won't settle with him. So I heard that Ron tweeted that the trustee withdrew her opposition to Edelson's motion to lift the stay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why she's done that. I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
But if the stay gets lifted and Edelson is allowed to pursue her, then maybe Ron just doesn't want to continue on this case for another year with no money. Maybe he's
that
going
makes
as far
sense.
as he can go without getting paid.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, because he gets paid
And
once
that's
he
pretty much
locates
about
all
all
the
I
money.
have
He
to
gets
say.
paid a certain percentage.
That's true, Freddie. That's true. What do you have to say, B?
I think Deb will be going.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know what we're talking about. I just hopped on. I didn't think I would get up here, but I love you guys.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for calling. What do you have to add to this? This is crazy.
So Ronald Richards is being accused of working with Erika.
Crazy. What do you think?
Oh my God. I don't know. I'm just so tired of this story, honestly. Like after the 4-part reunion and it's like, I don't know. It's just like, you don't know what to believe anymore. Like what is, I don't even know. These rich people.
That's lawsuits. They take years, don't they, Freddie?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not an easy one. This is a very, very complicated situation that they need to be locating the money. They have to be, with all even the law stuff, that's all changing because of that stuff. And interestingly, earlier on, we were talking about how the bar are going to be reviewing these law firms more about
right.
dodgy money. What an American law student actually messaged me and said that this is actually really annoying and sort of ruins it for everyone because even when they're doing right, because what really should have happened is the state bar should have addressed the numerous complaints about Tom Girardi over the years, yet they chose to turn a blind eye and take money off him or bribes from him.
Yeah. And that was one of the main complaints yesterday when all those people were sending me all that stuff. Freddie.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, guys. I know better than that. All right. Did you have any last words, Deb?
Well, I just wanted to say that Edelson is stating on Twitter that Ronald has been terminated, and I would like to know, how does he know this? The trustee would not tell Edelson if she had terminated Ron or asked Ron to step down. She wouldn't tell Edelson. The only way that he could know something like that would be if someone in the trustee's law firm
That's true.
let him know.
Yeah, right.
And he is the opposition. I don't know. This thing is crazy. Thank you so much for calling in, Deb. I appreciate your call.
Hey, thanks, Deb. Appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, B. Did you have any last words?
I just have one question. So didn't Ron? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So didn't Ronald Richards say that he resigned from the case, or he himself took
Stepping
himself
away.
off the case, right?
Yeah, he said he was
walked
stepping
away.
away.
Okay, so did he get fired, or it was the same thing?
Well,
He's
no,
saying he
there's no
stepped
evidence to
away.
suggest
The
he's been
opposition is
fired.
saying he got fired. We don't know. We haven't
Okay.
seen any paperwork.
Right.
So that's why we're like, huh? It's crazy. Yeah.
You know
Thank
what
you,
I
Dee.
think?
Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Freddie,
You know
this,
what I think they should do, Sharrell? When you have big lawsuits like this, and once it is settled, I think the judge should be more involved, or they should set a rule, submit paperwork proving that these people actually got their money. This case, this would happen with Tom Girardi and this whole situation. It should set a precedent on how people get distributed their money from this point on when they have a lawsuit that is settled. The law firm that is handling it should have to submit some type of proof that these 10 people or 20 people or 100 people actually received their money.
That's true. Do you agree with that, Freddie? That is true.
Yeah, definitely, because I mean, this is a prime example. The Tom Girardi case is a prime example of where a lot of people have missed out, and particularly like with the Rio Gomez case, really needed the money for life-changing surgery.
It's crazy. I have spoken to some of the victims privately. They didn't want to go on air. I just wanted, they just wanted me to hear their stories and whatnot. And as Freddie said earlier, all of these lawyers bickering back and forth it goes with lawsuits. But no, let's not forget they are true victims in all of it. It's sad, and I hate to see Ronald go. Me and Freddie, we like Ronald, and he started out with the best intentions, and I feel if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't know all that we know. Now, my personal personality, I love a pit bull that uses social media. I love my attorney. My attorneys don't play. Like, they're on it. I love that. But I just think it has to do with a new era coming in, and some of them know how to use it and some of them don't. I want my attorney on every channel. I want my attorney on Twitter. I want my attorney posting public records, because that's all these documents are. They're public records, and that way you don't let the masses believe something that's not true. You're kind of keeping everything open and legit, and so we don't have wild rumors spreading. I like that personally.
No, I get it. I mean, because regardless, as an attorney, whether you're on social media or not, no way is fail-proof. Like, if you think, well, my attorney lost because he's on social media, yours can lose off social media.
Yeah.
But the difference is, oftentimes people, I like social media attorneys because it spread to the masses of people who never walked into a courtroom to make them understand these things.
And let's not forget, before Ronald Richards came on this case, Dorit, Erika, all the ones that had lawsuits made us think, oh, it's all fine. Nothing's wrong here. And the minute he came on, he held them accountable for even what they said on the show. Like, their story's not making sense.
And what I wanted to quickly add was that a lot of people are saying, Ronald shouldn't be, sharing all this information and stuff like that, or it's private. But as I've said many times on here, they are public documents. And the thing is even if Ronald Richards wasn't on Twitter, we've seen before with other stars that you've got people like the Daily Mail, Page 6, that are reporting about these people's lawsuits anyway. And that was the case with Erika before Ronald started reporting it. Daily Mail were actually one of the first to be reporting it. Again, with Ronald only reported a couple of documents about Dorit. But again, the Daily Mail have been the main ones that have been reporting about all their financial troubles.
Freddie, we got to get him back on the show and let's hear his side.
I agree.
I want to hear his side, and there probably going to be more than this by the time we get him on, because people don't like Ronald in the public eye tweeting about this and that, but Jay Edelson's doing it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It's like a thin. It's a thin line, Sharrell, right? It's not, I don't dislike it. I think it's just a thin line where, like, what's the balance or whatever. And, people are saying, because I use the word oath, it's the Florence Nightingale pledge that the nurses do. But we do, you do this pledge, and you do have this standard, and, and then there's HIPAA, where you're not allowed to say certain things or whatever the case may be. And I know lawyers have something similar to that. And I think that's where I'm saying, like, it's a balance as to, what you say and what you don't say. And you try to kind of filter your words when you say it. And it's so hard, because when you do with social media, how we see so many people get in trouble with social media, because it's a thin line between, okay, did I say too much? And the problem with social media is, once you put it out there, you can't take it back.
Ever.
You can't take it back. So that's why I'm just like, you know what? It's a balance. If you know how to do the balance well, then go for it. But, once you have somebody and they ask you a question, especially as live, you're natural. And then once it slips out your mouth, it's like you can't, like, pull it back.
Right, exactly.
So
no, I got
it's so hard. It's so hard.
Yeah, we got to follow this case, because Freddie, are they going to replace Ronald? This is going to be weird if he's gone, since he's gone now.
They'll replace him. Like, the whole thing was the trustee of the bankruptcy, the attorneys work underneath them. So, like, those are people that's out of sight, out of mind. He was just on social media. They'll replace him.
Aw, what if we get a person that doesn't like to talk?
Huh?
Then what are we going to do? Then we have to come, and then we have to try to prove it, and then Erika's going to get mad at us.
And then we just have to guess. We have to guess what's happening. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Diva. Thank you so much, Freddie, as always. We can see if we get him on the show, Freddie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I spoke to him today.
Yeah. We should have brought him on today.
We'll definitely be able to get him on, for sure.
I was
he
just
misses
giving
both
all
of
the
us.
documents. Here, say this, remember? And I was like,
I know, it was reading, and it's 3 a.m, but you're all worth it. I love being here, and we've got to be telling everyone what's happening.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you guys. Thank you, Diva. Thank you, Freddie. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy your night.
I wanted to thank everyone. I'm going to wrap this up for super chats. Again, I did not get to my other stories. It's crazy. But a lot of people had a lot of opinions on it. It's a mess right now. And we want to we want to hear everybody's side of the story. So that was crazy. Thank you for your soup, Perry. Did you have something to say?
Oh, I was going to say, before we finish up tonight, let's give a shout out to all the veterans, Veterans Day. Love you guys. Appreciate what you do. That's it.
Happy Veterans Day. Yeah. We went late tonight.
Thank you all for your super chats. Thanks everyone in the chat for their opinions and they have something to say. Again, everyone that called in, this is the People's Channel. I don't care what you have to say. If you are willing to talk about it publicly, we're going to listen.
We'll talk about it.
So thank you
That's
guys
right.
for doing that. All right, Perry, on 3, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.